between us. You have come to show you go on. Near, far, wherever you are, I believe that the heart does go on. Once more, you open the door, and you're here in my heart, and my heart will go on and on. Love can touch us one time and last for a lifetime, and never let go till we're gone. Love was when I loved you one true time. I hold you in my life, will always go on. Near, far, wherever you are, I believe that the heart does go on. Once more, you open the door,
And welcome to KBLP and Hollywood Review. Hi everybody, how you doing? I'm really enjoying my second day of vacation. Yeah, I really enjoyed yesterday. Did nothing, absolutely nothing. It was wonderful. So, how many of you have been to the movies this week and last weekend? Let's get into the top 10 box office of last weekend. Believe it or not, Crazy Rich Asians is number one. There we go. That's interesting. Rotten Tomatoes loves it. The audience loves it. The critics love it. With a terrific cast and visual razzle dazzle, Crazy Rich Asians takes a satisfying step forward for screen representation. And this is about it follows a native New Yorker, Rachel, as she accompanies her longtime boyfriend, Nick, to his best friend's wedding in Singapore. Excited about visiting Asia for the first time, but nervous about meeting Nick's family, she's unprepared to learn that Nick has neglected to mention a few things about his life. Turns out he's not only the scion of one of the country's wealthiest families, but also one of the most sought-after bachelors. Being on Nick's arm puts a target on Rachel's back, with jealous socialites and worse. Nick's own disapproving mother taking aim. Soon becomes clear that while money can't buy love, it can definitely complicate things. So number one movie this past week. Crazy Rich Asians. Number two. Wow. Oops. Oh, gosh darn it. There we go. That's not what I wanted. Gosh darn it. Okay. Number two on the list, moved up, was The Meg. And of course, that's with Jason Statham. Gotta love some Jason Statham, right? Didn't do well as far as Rotten Tomatoes or the audience goes, but it sets up for a good old-fashioned B-movie creature feature. And of course, it's about the megalodon, part of an international undersea observation program, has been attacked by a massive creature previously thought to be extinct, and now lies disabled at the bottom of the deepest trench in the Pacific, with the crew trapped inside. Jason Statham, Rainn Wilson, Ruby Rose, Paige Kennedy. So, yeah, the Meg is number 2. And I know Chris went to see this, so. And it was interesting, to say the least. Number 3, Mission Impossible Fallout. Yeah. We know. Oh, everybody just loves it. Whatever. 97% Rotten Tomato meter. 89% the audience loves it. Fast, sleek, fun. Fallout lives up to the impossible part of its name by setting yet another high mark for insane set pieces in a franchise full of them. Okay, whatever. And as always, the best intentions often come back to haunt you. This movie finds Ethan Hunt, Tom Cruise, and his IMF team, along with familiar allies, in a race against time after a mission gone wrong. Henry Cavill, Angela Bassett, and Vanessa Kirby also joined the dynamic cast, with filmmaker Christopher McQuarrie returning to the helm. Whatever. Gotta like Tom Cruise, I guess. I don't know. I'm really not a fan of him, but I'm sure the movie is wonderful. Number 4 this week, Searching. And on the tomato meter, it's got a 92%. Interesting. And audience score is 90. So high marks for this movie. And the critics say its timely premise and original execution are further bolstered. God, I can't speak tonight. Excuse me. Are further bolstered by well-rounded characters brought to life by a talented cast. This is about after David Kim's 16-year-old daughter goes missing, a local investigation is opened, and a detective assigned to the case. But 37 hours later, and without a single lead, David decides to search the one place no one has looked yet, where all secrets are kept today, his daughter's laptop. Wouldn't that be one of the first things they grab? Anyway, in a hyper-modern thriller told via the technology, the devices we use every day to communicate, David must trace his daughter's digital footprints before she disappears forever. And John Cho, Deborah Messing, Michelle La, Joseph Lee. I haven't seen Deborah Messing. I love Deborah Messing. So, Searching, number 4. Number 5, Operation Finale. Kind of low scores here on the tomato meter. Audience loved it, though, 75%. And critics, Operation Finale is well-intentioned, well-acted, and overall entertaining. Even if the depth and complexity of the real-life events can get lost in the dramatization. This movie looked really good. And the guy who plays it, God, he looks like a young George Clooney. It's about Nazi hunter, basically. 15 years after the end of World War II, Israel's intelligence agency Mossad and security agency Shin Bet, led by the heroic agent Peter Malkin, launched a daring top-secret raid to capture the notorious Eichmann, played by Ben Kingsley, who had been reported dead in the chaos following Nazi Germany's collapse, but was in fact living and working in a suburb of Buenos Aires, under an assumed identity along with his wife and 2 sons. They monitor his daily routine as operatives plot and execute the abduction under the cover of darkness just a few feet from his home. Determined to sneak him out of Argentina to stand trial in Israel, Malkin and Eichmann engage in an intense and gripping game of cat and mouse. Oscar Isaac, if you've seen the trailers, and oh my God, it looks like a young George Clooney. He plays Malkin. Oscar Isaac, remember that name. Ben Kingsley, Nick Kroll. It looks like an interesting movie. But if you've not seen the trailers, go look it up. See if I'm not right. Number 6 this past week, and this has been out for 6 weeks now. And of course, tomato meter, 70% the audience loves it, 87% is Christopher Robin. The critics say Christopher Robin may not equal A.A. Milne's stories or the animated Disney adaptation, but it should prove sweet enough for audiences seeking a little childhood magic. So this is about, this is a live, action adventure. The young boy who loved embarking on adventures in the 100-acre wood with a band of spirited and lovable stuffed animals has grown up and lost his way. Now it is up to his childhood friends to venture into our world and help Christopher Robin remember the loving and playful boy who's still inside. Ian McGregor, Jim Cummings, Haley Atwell, Toby Jones, Brad Garrett. He's Eeyore, by the way. So, there you go. Christopher Robin. Number 7 for the past week. Good reviews on this one. Good ratings. Tomato meter, 82%. Audience, 74%. Alpha. And the critics say it's well acted and beautifully filmed. Alpha offers a canine-assisted epic adventure that blends rousing action with an extra helping of canine charm. Okay. And this movie is an epic adventure set in the last ice age. Alpha tells a fascinating, visually stunning story that shines a light on the origins of man's best friend. While on his first hunt with his tribe's most elite group, a young man is injured and must learn to survive alone in the wilderness. Reluctantly taming a lone wolf abandoned by its pack, the pair learn to rely on each other and become unlikely allies. Cody Smith McPhee, Leonor Varela, I can't even pronounce some of these names, but Alpha, that might be one to see. Okay, number 8, this is such a weird movie. I haven't seen it, but I don't know if I want to. Is anybody even thinking about seeing it? The ratings are not good. Although, who goes by that anyway, really? I don't. I see it for myself. But I've seen the trailers and some stuff for this, and I'm like, who the hell thought of this? Number 8, the past week, The Happy Time Murders. I think it would have been a good movie if they'd have kept it, more for kids. I think it would have been great. Hey, Chris, there's a big freak. Speaking of freaks, we'll get to that in a minute. I'm typing, so hang in there. Getting ready for your show. His show is up after mine. The Freaks in the Basement, of course. I'm mad. I say I'm mad. Okay. The Happy Time Murders. I'm really disappointed in this because when I first saw it and what was going on, I thought it was going to be a fun, funny movie like, some of the other Muppet movies. And it's too bad it's the way it is. Really low ratings. 23% on the tomato meter. Audience 46%. It wastes its transgressive premise on a witless comedy that blindly pushes buttons instead of telling an entertaining story. And I was disappointed when I saw more of the trailers and stuff. They really could have done something with this, like Muppet Christmas Story or something like. It was hilarious. I thought. I wish they could have done something more like that with this movie. I think it would have been much better. It's not Sesame Street, it's All Street. The Happy Time Murders is a filthy comedy set in the seedy underbelly of LA where puppets and humans coexist. Two clashing detectives with a shared secret, one human and one puppet, are forced to work together to solve the brutal murders of the former cast of a beloved classic puppet show. And that's too bad. I really think they could have made something out of this movie, and I think they blew it. Melissa McCarthy, Maya Rudolph, Joe McHale, they're all good, and I think their talent was wasted in this movie. Elizabeth Banks, so yeah, I'm really disappointed with that. That's too bad. Number 9 is a Black KK Klansman. That looks interesting. High on the tomato meter, 95%. Audience score 80. It uses history to offer bitingly trenchant commentary. Oh, good Lord. On current events and brings out some of Spike Lee's hardest hitting work in decades along the way. Yeah, you guys want to stick around. You don't want to miss Freaks. And this is from Spike Lee, of course. Comes the incredible true story of an American hero. It's the early 70s, and Ron Stallworth, John David Washington, is the first African-American detective to serve in Colorado Springs Police Department. And he's determined to make a name for himself. He bravely sets out on a dangerous mission, infiltrate and expose the KKK. The young detective soon recruits a more seasoned colleague into the undercover investigation of a lifetime. Together, they team up to take down the extremist hate group as the organization aims to sanitize its violent rhetoric to appeal to the mainstream. John David Washington, Adam Driver, Laura Harrier. So I wanted to see something like that. It's supposed to be a really, really excellent movie, so check it out. Okay. Last but not least, number 10 is Mile 22, and I thought this was going to do better than it did. Tomato meter 23%, audience only 49. The critics say Mile 22 lets the bullets fly and not much else. It's a thrill-deficient action thriller whose title proves sadly fitting for a film that feels close to a marathon endurance test. So, not one of Mark Wahlberg's best, apparently. And it's a visceral modern thriller from the director of Lone Survivor. Mark Wahlberg, an operative of the CIA's most highly prized and least understood unit, aided by a top-secret tactical command team. He must retrieve and transport an asset who holds life-threatening information to Mile 22 for extraction. It almost sounds like, oh God, what the heck was that name? 13 Blocks? What was that the name? That was a good movie. Anyway, Mark Wahlberg, Laura Cohen, Maggie, Ronda Rousey, Terry Kinney, John Malkovich. I'm surprised it didn't do better, actually. You know, it's still in the top, like 15 anyway. You know, it was 11 still. This has been out for 13 weeks. You go, Incredibles 2. I love it. Incredibles 2 is still up there. It's number 12, but it's been out for 13 weeks. Awesome. So, still out there. Let's see. What's coming up? Of course, I'm going to bring up The Nun opened yesterday, actually, in a lot of places, and opened officially today. Chris liked it, worth a watch, so I'm going to go by his, and I will go see it. I will let you know. Although the tomato meter gave it a lousy 28%. Really, people? I don't think critics in that really like horror movies. I swear to God they don't. They never give them any good ratings. Strong performances, spooky atmospherics. But says it lacks narrative. It has narrative slackness, whatever. Of course, this is part of the Conjuring series. When a young nun at a cloistered abbey in Romania takes her own life, a priest with a haunted past and a novitiate on the threshold of her final vows are sent by the Vatican to investigate. Together they uncover the order's unholy secret, risking not only their lives but their faith and their very souls. They confront a malevolent force in the form of the same demonic nun that first terrorized us in The Conjuring 2, as the abbey becomes a horrific battleground between the living and the damned. Yeah, they are. 23. Seriously? I don't go by that. You can't. Thaisa Farmiga, Bonnie Aaron, Charlotte Hope, and she plays Sister Irene. Of course, she was in AHS too, so definitely. I will see it and let you know. I agree, Chris. I totally agree. Another one that opened today was Peppermint with Jennifer Garner. It's kind of a same theme we've seen before. Audience loved. Now, Rotten Tomatoes only gave it 14%. The audience gave it an 81%. And the critics say, far from refreshing, Peppermint wastes strong work from Jennifer Garner on a dreary vigilante revenge story. Okay, whatever. Okay. It's an action thriller, of course, a story of a young mother, played by Jennifer Garner, who awakens from a coma after her husband and daughter are killed. Well, yeah, it's kind of the same theme, but maybe worth a watch. Jennifer Garner, Richard Cabral, John Gallagher Jr. So, maybe. If you're into action thrillers, that might be one to see. What else opened today? Yeah, they are idiots. I'm like, really? I don't think they're horror fans at all, or they don't give it a chance. I really don't. I am not a witch. Open today, and this is the first one I've seen. 100% on the tomato meter, 79% audience. It approaches real life injustices with a beguiling blend of sorrow, anger, and humor. This is after an accident in her village. Shula, an 8-year-old girl, is accused of witchcraft. After a quick trial, she is found guilty and locked up in a witches' camp. Interesting. Henry Fury, Maggie Muluba. So maybe one to catch. That might be interesting. How can you do that to an 8-year-old girl, believing she's a witch? That's crazy. But Rotten Tomatoes gave that 100%. Maybe something to look into. Mara opened today. Oh, not good either. Yeah, all right. You go, fans. Yes. Fans rock. Critics suck. Critics, that's why they're critics. Mara opened today. Tomato meter, 14%. There is nothing else. The critics haven't said anything about it. This is from the producer of Paranormal Activity. I'm sorry, I did not like the Paranormal Activity movies. The first one was interesting, but it was the same thing. Excuse me. But he also directed Insidious, and I loved Insidious. This shock-filled descent into fear. After a man is seemingly strangled in his bed, criminal psychologist Kate Fuller interviews a sole witness, the victim's 8-year-old daughter. When asked to identify the killer, Sophie says Mara. As Kate digs into the case, she unearths a community of people who claim to be tormented by a shadowy menace as a century-old demon who kills their victims as they sleep. So, I can't even pronounce her name that's starring in this as Kate. And Javier Botet as Mara. Interesting. So, might be one to check out. If you have a night, here we have Tuesday nights. It's $5 movie day, $5 movie night. So, might be something to look into in your area. The Apparition opened today. And tomato meter, 65%. Nothing else yet because it just opened. This is Jacques. He is a journalist at a large regional newspaper in France. His reputation as an impartial investigator attracts the attention of the Vatican, who recruit him to lead a committee to explore the legitimacy of a saintly apparition in a small French village. Upon his arrival, he meets the nun novitiate Anna, who claims to have personally witnessed an apparition of the Virgin Mary. Confronted with opposing views from clergy members and skeptic, he finds his belief system profoundly shaken. Okay, maybe something you'd want to see, but definitely the nun is on top of my list. And I will report back as soon as I hear, see about it. So that's a lot of them this week. Coming soon to theaters, of course. Slice. This is actually September 10th, which is kind of strange. 92% of the audience wants to see this. See what this is about. This isn't just called Slice. Now, this is your wonderful B movie. In a spooky small town, when a slew of pizza delivery boys are slain on the job, two daring survivors set out to catch the culprits behind the cryptic crime spree. That should be interesting. It's a comedy horror, so that might be something to see. Chance the Rapper is Dax, Paul Scheer, Joe Keery. So that's something to see. Who's looking forward to Star is Born with Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga? That looks really interesting. Okay, so Slice with Chance the Rapper is opening the 10th. Who's going to see Predator, the new one? That looked pretty good, actually. 67% tomato meter so far. 90% of people want to see this. Of course, we all know what Predator is about. From the outer reaches of space to the small town streets of suburbia, the hunt comes home in the reinvention of the Predator series. Now the universe's most lethal hunters are stronger, smarter, and deadlier, having genetically upgraded themselves with DNA from other species. When a young boy accidentally triggers their return to Earth, only a ragtag crew of ex-soldiers and a disgruntled science teacher can prevent the end of the human race. I don't know about the storyline there, but we'll see. Keegan-Michael Key, Boyd Holbrook, Trevant Rhodes, Sterling K. Brown. So we shall see. Me too. I want to see it. The previews looked really good. The trailers looked really good too. If you have a look, they're really good. So that opens next week. Mandy with Nicolas Cage opens, and we went over that before. Patient Zeros opens next week too. And Survivors, of course, has turned humankind into highly intelligent, streamlined killers. And an asymptomatic victim who can communicate with the infected must lead the survivors on a hunt for patient zero and occur. By the way, speaking of zombie movies, they're going to be making a Train to Busan 2. So, actually, I can look forward to that. Anyway, in Patient Zero, Stanley Tucci is in here. I love Stanley Tucci. I think he's great. Matt Smith, Natalie Dormer, John Bradley, a Scooter with Stanley Tucci also. So, might want to see that, Patient Zero. Yeah, I want to see Predator 2. I saw the trailers. It looked really good, actually. Lizzie opens September 14th. Kristen Stewart. This Lizzie forces audience to take a new look at a widely known true crime story, even if the well-acted result is never quite as gripping as it could be. What is with these critics? They're terrible. Let's see what this is about. Lizzie Borden. This is about Lizzie Borden, guys. The most notorious woman at the heart of the most enduring mysteries in American history. Lizzie finds a kindred spirit in housemaid Bridget Sullivan, Kristen Stewart. And their secret intimacy sparks an unthinkable act. Director Craig William McNeil, The Boy, Channel Zero, explores the days leading up to the savage crimes in a dark tale of repression, exploitation, and thwarted dreams. I don't know. Kristen School of Acting is like deadpan. I don't know. I'll have to see the previews. DVDs. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom will be coming out. Won't You Be My Neighbor? Actually, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom should be out. Ghost Stories. I want to see that one. I'm going to probably rent it and see what it is like. Dark River is out. Let's see. Hostel. September 7th, which should be today. Cold Skin. Mara. Mara did come out. Okay. Let's see. What else is coming out? DVD, guys. Okay. Coming soon. September 14th, Hearts Beat Loud. September 18th, Damsel. So, let's see. Yep. UFO's out. Let's see what else. That's about it. So those are some upcoming. Of course, we're all looking forward to October. Correct? Halloween. I wish a bunch of us could get together and go see that. That would be so much fun. That would be so much fun. So that is what is going on in the world of movies. So, and DVDs. So pretty cool. But yeah, I was surprised to see Incredibles up there. Yeah, Predator looks pretty good. The biggest one, of course, is The Nun that opened more or less everywhere today. So, hope most everybody gets a chance to see it. So, I will, for a change, which I'm excited about. Let's see. Of course, The Walking Dead is nominated for multiple People's Choices Awards, of course. This is a little tribute, a little trivia, I should say. Thaisa Farmiga, she doesn't like horror, but she's in them. And she stars as Sister Irene in The Nun, and her sister Vera portrayed Lorraine, of course. But she's not a horror movie freak. Go figure. I think it's funny. Just ironic, of course. Let's see. Infinity War, I love that movie. Anyway, and of course, R.I.P. Burt Reynolds, the Bandit. How could you forget him? He's joining the big cast in the sky up there. So, crazy. So, yep. So sad to hear. Dylan McDermott from AHS, and a sexual assault claim is being tossed by the DA. I think they're finally figuring out that most of this is crap. They totally rejected it. Whatever. And this was supposedly happened in 1991. Are you freaking kidding me? Enough already. Enough. Uh-oh, we may be in trouble. I don't know. After guns firing on Guardians of the Galaxy, They may get director Paul Feig of Ghostbusters. No, let's not do that. And of course, Scientology is exploiting the National Association of Commissions for Women to attack Leah Remini's. Oh, please, here we go. To attack her show, Scientology in the Aftermath. Of course, Scientology has their own channel, believe it or not. Officials do find a mask. Prayers to Cincinnati, which is just 3 hours from me, for the shootings there in the Bay. It was terrible. Again. Prayers out to those families and everybody down there, okay? Mexican authorities say they found a mass grave with the remains of at least 166 people in the state of Veracruz. The latest mass grave in a place that has been marred by disappearances, warring drug cartels, and government-sponsored violence. What a surprise, right? Wow. Yeah, that's crazy stuff. Crazy. Don't know. Watch out for the storms, North Carolina. Other than that, not a whole lot going on. So some good movies to see. Some Hollywood and of course, alien life could exist on worlds overflowing with water. Okay. How are you going to tell? So, of course, same old crap, Of course, looking forward to The Walking Dead coming up. So far, they haven't thrilled me with fear. So, hopefully, they have at the beginning, but not so much lately. So, hopefully, they pick up the pace. So, that's about it for tonight. Like I said, stay tuned for The Biggest Freak, our own Chris Stevens with Freaks in the Basement. Awesome, awesome show. And I am on vacay, so I can stay up and listen. Yay! So, I'm so excited. I don't get that many chances. So, I'm excited about that. That's right, he could. We don't know. We don't know. I haven't met him yet. I'm waiting him to pop up me on the way home from work one night. There are no street lights, mostly in Portland, not in the back areas, and so it's dark and woody. And I'm just waiting for that to happen. I really am. So, it could be. Who knows? Don't know. But join Chris Stevens and Freaks in the Basement right after we're done here. Give you a lineup. I think we're going to change it to a fall lineup because American Horror Story starts soon, Apocalypse, and I'm so excited to see that. That looks freaking awesome because it's Murder House and Coven. They're putting it together. Yeah, yep. Shh, you didn't hear anything. You heard not a thing. Shh. So that's going to be starting soon. So. And I think it's on Thursday night. So what we're going to do, we're going to do AHS on Sundays. Monday will be Sports Talk with Ak Diaz, Gary Martinez, Cecilia, Lisa, myself. There's many others that are going to be involved with Sports Talk. So, football started yesterday, so yay! I'm excited about this season. So, Monday, Sports Talk. Tuesday, I believe, Desiree will be back with Chained. So can't wait to see her back. So she'll be back in a few weeks. Spot Talk Sport. Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah. I forgot about that, Chris. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes, I did forget about that. It took me a second there. But, yeah, they'll be back. And Change will be back. I believe she'll be on Tuesdays. Wednesday. Oh, God. I am really bad today. I shouldn't be speaking. Wednesdays will be, of course, Fear, and then The Walking Dead, which I will have Michelle Auger and Rick with me every other Wednesday. So that's going to be so much fun. So much fun. Thursday. Okay. Thursday will be DWD. Yeah. Thursdays will be DWD. We're getting into some interesting stuff. We just had Hip Hop Rap, which was quite interesting, to say the least. Thank you to Tori for all that info. So Thursdays will be DWD. And then afterwards, which is perfect, because then afterwards is Lolita's Jam. She does play hip-hop, some underground music, new artists. So, yeah. Not quite good enough yet, though, Chris. Not quite enough yet. I wish that was it. I wish that was the problem. But anyway, Lolita's Jam on Thursdays after DWD. Perfect music night. Friday's Hollywood Review, of course. And then our biggest freak of all, Mr. Chris Stevens and Freaks in the Basement. I miss Michelle on that. So be sure and check that show out. Saturdays, it'll be a lineup. It'll be Ecto with Michelle Auger. If you didn't hear the promo, listen to it. Excellent. Can't wait. And then Encounters will be on. We're going to make it like a paranormal day. So that'll be cool. So Encounters will be on Saturdays. And then Ideas and the Jam will be on. Ike Dog and the Jam. That's a party all night long, guys. So check it out. The Freak. Yeah, I can't do it like Michelle. She drives. I miss her. I need her just for that. Yeah. The Freak. Yes. Okay. As I rip my vocal cords apart, but that's okay. So Saturdays we'll have a nice lineup too. So Thursday will be music night, and Saturday will be paranormal day. So very cool. And then we're back to Sundays and AHS. So I think that pretty much covers it. A lot of stuff going on. And I hope to do some live broadcasts from some haunted attractions next month. So that should be fun. I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be fun. So shout out to True Horror Junkies. Shout out to Horror 3 Ring Circus. King Barker and Beyond. Art of Darkness. Walking Dead Freak Show. Survival Wolves. See, oh my God. So, never mind. Conflicted with Julie Kenny. What if scenarios? Oh my God. Maybe because I haven't talked to people in 2 days. It's wonderful. But anyway, who else was I going to say? Horrorland, Horror House, all you guys out there. So, shout out to all of you. Oh, crazy, crazy. So, don't go away. Stay tuned to Chris Stevens, Freaks in the Basement, up next in just about 10 minutes. Good God. I think that covers it pretty much. Did I miss anything, Chris? I don't think so. Stay tuned to him next. Got a couple more songs, and then don't go away. Don't change that channel. Okay, we'll be back with Freaks in the Basement up next. Y'all have a good night. Peace out, y'all.
You want me to sing? Are you coming to the tree? They strung up a man, they say, who murdered 3. Strange things did happen here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree where a dead man called out for his love to flee? Strange things did happen here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree where I told you to run so we'd both be free? Strange things did happen here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree for a necklace of hope?
That line was originally Necklace of Rope. I had to change to Necklace of Hope.
Oh, you are a true wordsmith.
It's a little on the nose, but of course so is war.
Every district's the same mess.
Yes, but not the capital. I designed this signal defense system for them, but I can't find my way through it. Guess I did my job too well. At the time, I was just thinking of the science of it all. We'll get through it.
Are you coming to the tree? They strung up a man, they say he murdered 3. Strange things that happened here, no stranger would it be. We met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree? The dead man called out for his love to flee. Strange things that happened here, no stranger would it be. We met at midnight in the hanging tree.
Rose.